All right, man. Thanks a lot for the ride. All right, guys. Welcome to Mountain Valley. Looks like Uncle Jerry's finally gone too far and they've taken him away. I always had a deal with the cousins that if they ever needed any help, they could just call me. It's not like I'm really busy. So it looks like Jerry had a bit of an accident. He's not able to look after the farm anymore. Not that he's been doing a great job at it anyway for the last few years. And yeah, they've left it up to me. This in its time, whoa. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they said. Okay. So, Jerry burned his house down. I can see why he was no longer safe to be left out here on his own. So, okay. I thought it was a small fire, but that'll be fine. I guess that's where we're sleeping tonight. Anyway, yeah. So this is Mountain Valley Farm. It's a homesteading map, I like to think of it as. You walk into here, you got nothing. There's no equipment. There's no animals. There's a lot of land, but there's no actual fields. Oh, we do have chickens. He left his chickens lying around. Okay, so we get breakfast. That's not bad. We got a small stable. So, in its heyday, they packed as many as 50 cows in here. So I guess, let's see, where is it? No. There it is. So I guess we're going to restart that. I got $15,000 to my name. Not a single vehicle in sight. And it's spring. So this is early March. The grass is not growing yet. Nothing's happening. If we had cows, they'd be in their peak production right now. They'd be making milk and making us money. But all the grass is basically just still frozen from the winter. And doesn't look like it's been used in years. So I'm imagining that most of these meadows have kind of been grown over. Yeah. We're going to need a little bit more space in this too, so those trees are going to have to go. So we got to figure out, how do we make a living up here? If I don't make the loan payments, and if I don't pay off that loan, the cousins at the end of the year are just going to sell the farm off. They figure they can get about $500,000 for it, and I wouldn't disagree with them. This is a lot of land. So we've got all this land up here on top of the hill. There's a whole other bunch of it just on the other side there, just at the bottom of the hill, where you saw the pond when we first came up. That was also ours. And there's fields between us and the road all the way around this mountain. But because we have no money, because of the seasons, basically we have a year to pay off that loan. So let's see how that works out. I need a plan of action. So the only thing that I see around me here is grass and trees. I won't be able to harvest the grass for at least another 4 months, so that's out of the question. I'd make silage if that was the case. But we've got trees. So I can sell the trees. I can join the fields together and sell the trees. I think if we could cut down all these trees, get rid of the stumps, make a little bit of money on the wood, we could probably afford to do a little bit, well, to buy cows, first of all, because it's a dairy farm and we need to buy cows. Then produce grass and hay and straw. Oh, yeah, straw. Yeah, I guess we need to grow some barley or some wheat or something down at the bottom of the hill. So we're going to need to grow stuff to make grass and straw and hay so that we can feed our cows. But I think we have enough land that if we make a surplus, we'll be able to sell it. So that's one of our fields down there too. And it's been abandoned for years, so, oh, we got the town right there. Okay. So, let's see here. A little bit of a divot there. Looks like a grave. Okay. Let's see if we can make our way down here. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Okay, that's not a problem. That's a nice shortcut. Don't have to go all the way into town every time. If we just take a nice little peaceful walk down this way. That's a sawmill. It's got wood chips, and I'm assuming that's where we're going to sell our logs. We got hay dealer. So that's not bad. If we can sell hay, we should be able to buy hay. That may be necessary for a couple of months until we get our own production up and running. There's the stockyard and the slaughterhouse. Kind of funny that they get them coming and going. Oh, there's some cows over here. So at some point we'll have to get some cows. Yeah, not even at some point. We need to get cows super early. Because they make money. So here's the store. Doesn't look too bad. Not very busy down here right now, but you know, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, so geez, really not busy down here. Okay. I guess it's pretty safe because it's wide open, but nobody's here. Anyway. So I think what we'll do is go and have some breakfast, and I'm going to come up with a plan of action, and we'll get started. I hear we got pretty good bacon and eggs here, but you know, how badly can you screw up bacon and eggs? So this is what the neighborhood looks like. It's not much of a town, it's not much of a map, but it's good for our purposes. The main driveway we walked up is this. This is the farm. This is where the animals are. This is a giant field, but it's overgrown with trees. This is another little field, but it's overgrown with trees. There's really not a lot of buildings or structures around the farm. We'll eventually have to make some room to put in tractors and stuff on the farm itself as we build up. But for now, what we have is what we got. There's only 2 fields on this map, and I don't own either one of them. But the missions do work on them, so I'm thinking if we get really stuck, I'm going to be able to ask for some help and maybe pick up a couple of jobs and make a little bit of extra money to be able to either get equipment or cows or whatever it is. What we have, we've got one sell point, the livestock yard, and we got the hay sales area. For some reason, my hay sales are showing up as 0, so maybe I can't sell hay, but I can definitely sell silage. So I'm thinking silage might be the way to go on this. And my finances, well, we got a $100,000 loan and we have $15,000 to our name. so not a whole lot. I only get cows, so that's all the other animal types are gone. And yeah, I got chicken coop and yada yada yada. Dirt mode, traffic's gonna stay on. And what else do we have here? I'm in real time right now, but automatic engine start is off. Yeah, these guys don't get to buy anything. Plant withering is on, and we're got to do our 3-stage of fertilization, and we have to plow also. We're basically playing this thing on super hard mode, which is kind of the point of what Jerry's trying to create with this map, is something where there's no shortcuts, you have to earn it. Now, I was showing you the map. Well, there's nothing to it. If you zoom out, he's left himself a lot of room for expansion, but as a philosophy of you show up and you have nothing on a farm and you have to build it up, I really appreciate that. I think that that's a great idea, and that's why I'm going to play it, and I'm going to play it through with you guys. So, we're at the store now, and we need to buy something. The only thing we have that we can buy today that I can afford is not a tractor. If I buy a tractor today, I'm going to get dinged for it for the maintenance cost. And even if that's very low, I need to scratch every single penny I can. This is only $5 a day. This is a very useful tool. It's basically a tree harvester in your hand. So we're buying one of those. That's the only thing we're buying today. I showed you how the map has a big circle tour around it, and we basically own those fields around the map. So we're just going to start making our way back. So the stuff across the street here is not ours. That's not ours. The 2 fields that belong to our neighbors are, oh, they're just down this road here. Hang on a second. So we do have missions. These fields are worth $80,000. So I'm trying to pay off a $100,000 loan to Jerry's kids so I can keep this farm next year, and then maybe next year make enough money on it to pay them $500,000 for it. So $9,000 to plant potatoes for half an hour, that's going to come in handy. Although I feel like it's too cold today to be planting potatoes. Oh yeah, while we're here. So we're using the Seasons mod on this particular save game. It's not released yet, but I've been testing it and working with it for quite a while. I can't see myself playing this game any other way. Taking in consideration the growth seasons of things and taking into consideration the temperature of the soil when you plant things is very important. And it adds an extra level of difficulty to this map in particular because our resources are so limited. There's limits in temperature. So 5 degrees is what I need to plant wheat. 10 degrees is what I need to plant soy. Sunflower needs 7 degrees. And as you can see here, oh, wait a minute, potatoes only need 5 degrees. So we could do that job and not have his field wither on them. But I don't feel like doing that today. Today I want to cut down some trees. If you look at my HUD now, you'll see up in the top corner, top right-hand corner, you see the weather forecast. The weather forecast on Seasons is extremely important. The temperature of the soil and the temperature of the land is extremely important in terms of when you can harvest things, when you can plant things, so on and so forth. So I'm going to be playing it with Seasons. I've been playing with it since January 2017, and I cannot imagine this game without it. Of course, if you like to play a more of an arcade style farm sim, this is the worst mod you could possibly get for that kind of gameplay. So yeah, it's only 4 degrees out right now. If I was to accept that gentleman's offer and plant his potato field, every single potato would die, and neither one of us would be happy with the work, so it's not going to happen. So this is field number 1. The potato field back there, that was field number 2, I guess. And looks like this gentleman here would like me to do some seeding work for him too. But no, I'm not doing that right now. I'll be back for that soon. I first need to take care of making sure that my own farm is going, and I need to make sure that we have all of our own fields ready to be seeded. So on this side of the forest, on this side of the farm is up on that hill over there in the distance. On this side of the farm, this field is actually in pretty good shape. I'm just going to clear up some of the trees around the edges here and clean up a little bit to make it a little bit bigger, but I'm going to leave the trees near the cliff alone to still be able to, keep some of the spirit of the map alive. All right, so no point. The other thing also is these trees sometimes don't fall down, so I'll just put my shoulder into them and kick them over. Okay, so there you have it. So that's our lower field, more or less slightly expanded. Not a whole lot, but every one of these trees is going to bring us a couple of $100, and that's going to be getting us closer and closer to buying a tractor and a plow to be able to begin the process of farming this area, because I need the money. Oh, one more thing. I'm allowed to cut down these trees because they're on my property. But we have to replace every single tree that we put up. We have to plant a sapling in exchange. You can't just go through here and kill all these trees and just take the money and this one right into that gap. Timber! Okay, so that's sort of what I'm going to be doing for the next 4 to 5 hours, is clearing all this stuff out. I've got to, hold on a second here. Sorry about that. So I'm going to leave the regular old trees alone. They're not worth it in terms of plank wood, and to start grinding those up is just going to be a pain. And they look beautiful anyway, so, and in the fall they're going to add a beautiful color to the land. So we're just going to leave those alone. I think I'm going to clear everything between these two fields that's evergreen, all the Douglas fir, and then cut it down into lengths and see if maybe tomorrow I can get a tractor or something, and we can begin to pick all this stuff up and see how much we can earn off these fields. So that's it for me. I'm going to leave you like that. Thanks for joining me on the Mountain Valley Farm, and we'll talk to you soon.